So today Apple has released another beta for their next major update. iOS 26.4 Developer Beta 4 is now available to download to registered developers. Now, public beta testers, you'll most likely see this populate for you within the next 24 to 48 hours. Now, the fourth beta for this next major update actually brings some improvements, changes, and bug fixes that I wanted to share with you guys in today's video. Now, the download was a little over 1 gigabyte, updating from beta 3 to beta 4 on this iPhone 17 Pro Max. Now, as we head on over into settings in general, about, and we take a look at the latest build number for this one, you see there it ends with the letter A. Now, if you follow me here, you already know that typically when we see the letter A towards the end of the build number, it means the software could be releasing quite soon. Now, keep in mind, we're still waiting for Apple to release the RC, so we'll talk about what we can expect moving forward in regards to what's next and when we can expect the official release of iOS 26.4. But as I mentioned, there's quite a bit to talk about with this one, so let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, aside from iOS 26.4 Beta 4, Apple also released iPadOS, macOS, watchOS, visionOS, tvOS, and HomePodOS 26.4 Developer Beta 4, all available to download as of today. So now you may remember Apple added the new emojis to iOS 26.4 with the third beta, but we had question marks instead of the actual images. With the fourth beta, Apple has actually added the new emojis to the keyboard on iPhone. So I have them here preloaded or pre-saved into my clipboard. And there you go. We now have the actual emoji. You see there, distorted face, one of my favorites, fighting cloud, landslide, orchid, trombone, and so forth. You see there, we now actually have the new emojis integrated into the actual keyboard, which is obviously part of the evolution of the beta, right? We could see some of these issues happen where you don't have everything completed. It looks like now as we approach the official release, Apple continues to, sort things out and obviously polish the software to represent images as they should. Now, the one thing to note is that Apple also added a new option that was called a reduce highlighting effect. This was previously found under accessibilities, display and text size. Right below this option right here where you have the labels, we had that option. It's no longer there. Apple has moved the option and renamed it. Right here to the bottom, we now have a new option which is called reduce bright effect. And this will minimize the highlight or flash when interacting with on-screen things like buttons or menus or keyboards. So, for example, if I go ahead and show you here on the keyboard, when I press on the keyboard, you see that highlighting effect right there where my finger is. Well, now if we turn this option on, this will reduce the actual effect. So reduce right there. Let's go back into the keyboard. You see there, it will reduce that highlighting or bright effect. And again, Apple has renamed it and relocated to this option right here to the bottom of the screen. Instead of being here, it's now here. In the name, it's now reduce bright effect. So yeah, two things that Apple has changed and improved with this latest beta so far. Now, this beta also adds some changes or new settings for the Measures application on iPhone. So if you go to Measure on the Measures application, you see there you can use Imperial, and now you have the option to also go under the Measures app and choose the metric system. So you can actually use metric right there within the Measures application. So new settings and options now available for the Measures application within iOS 26.4. So adding these two new options right there, so measure units, Imperial, or metric. Now, a few additional things to note: the operating system feels a lot smoother and a lot more polished and refined. Obviously, Apple adding the new emojis and everything like that, and the actual effects and things like that are actually working properly. As you know, Apple has added that reduce bright effect, which is now working as intended. And of course, the next question is when we can expect iOS 26.4. So the next step will most likely be the RC, the release candidate. And we know that Apple has been on a weekly release schedule. So if history continues to repeat itself, next week on Monday, the 16th, we'll most likely see iOS 26.4 RC release candidate made available to developers and public beta testers. And the following week after that, on March 23rd, iOS 26.4 will most likely be released to the general public. Now, this is all based on estimates, right? We know that Apple is on a weekly release schedule. This is not confirmed information, but if Apple continues to release new updates every week, then of course, next week RC, the following Monday, March 23rd, I'm expecting the software to be released to the general public. Now, again, I'll follow up with another video if I find any additional new features and changes within the fourth beta, but this is everything I've noticed so far. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.